we've got some incredible things coming up. And one of the things that you'll need to say, I'll be there for, is R Squad Live. It's coming right up. You don't want to miss this. So make sure that you're there. Make sure your friends are there. It's Sunday, okay? Sunday, this coming Sunday. You can start showing up at 6 and get a little food if you want or whatever. 6:30, we're going to get everything rocking and rolling. But if you want to get there, we got some food trucks there. Bring $6, I think. We get y'all taken care of. So be there, bring some friends. It's going to be awesome. So guys, how you doing? It's been a little while, right? It's been a little while. Jordan's been doing a great job with these videos and hanging out with you guys. And I was like, dude, I got to talk to my people again. So anyway, I just dropped my kids off at school and they're ready to go for the day. And I was like, you know what? It's so nice out here. I think I'm just going to go for a walk. And so yeah, I'm in my truck and we're going to drive a little bit and then we're going to go for a little bit of a walk. If that's cool with you. So I'm out here on my walk, and man, I'm be honest with you, I'm starting to get a little bit hungry out here. Look, I give you a few things. Give you a few things. Here we go. Steak, Star Wars, wife, truck, and Adidas. What do all those things have in common? Those are all things that I love. I would say that those are all things I love. I love steak. Gosh, I love steak. I want one right now. I love my wife. I love my truck. But it's kind of weird that we have like one word that shows that we love all kinds of different things. Like I love my wife and I love steak. I don't love my wife as much. I mean, I don't love, oops. The reality is that we all say that we love certain things, but love, we use that word a whole lot, but I think sometimes we forget just how hard it is to actually love and just how hard it is to love when it comes to family. I think all of us could agree that when it comes to our family, that's when it can be the most difficult to show love. Because you know how they say you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friends. I mean, crap, that's not the one. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Your family is who you have. It's just there. I think that God designed it that way. I think that God put intentional relationships in our life and said, guess what? You're stuck with them and you're going to have to figure it out. Because here's the problem. See, in our culture, we want everything to be easy. We want everything to be simple. And the fact is, that's just not life. And I believe that God put people in our family and said, there are certain things that you need to learn. And you won't learn them if you just get to pick all the people that are just like you, that get along with you. And so he said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create this thing called family. And it's going to be the greatest and at times the most difficult thing you've ever experienced. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it so difficult that sometimes you're going to keep trying and trying and trying, and you're going to ask yourself the question, am I even getting anywhere? It's going to feel like a climb all day long. I mean, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the fact that God might have given you the family that you have? He might have positioned you with your family to help you grow and to help you understand what it means to actually love. Paul in the New Testament wants to show us just how difficult this love thing is. And he writes this stuff down in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And this is one of those passages that you hear a lot. You'll hear it at like a wedding and stuff, and people look at it and think, oh, it's so beautiful. This is the amazing passage of love. I'm going to tell you something right now. This kind of stuff is hard. This kind of love is difficult. Now, here's the thing. We're going to read it together, and I want you to think just how easy some of this may sound to you. First off, he says, love is patient. I don't know about you, but patience doesn't come easy. And then he says, love is kind. And he doesn't end there. He keeps going. He says, love is not boastful or proud or rude. What else you got, Paul? He says this, that love does not demand its own way. Love doesn't demand its own way. In other words, like, it's not about you all the time. You've got to understand that love is not just about you. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is getting harder and harder. And then it goes on and it says this. This is huge. I think we could just stop here. It says, love does not keep a record of wrongs. Now hold the phone for a minute. If I've been wrong, that's really hard to let go of, but love keeps no record of it. We just take it and we throw it out. We work through it, we process, we go through forgiveness, and it's done. It keeps no record. If you think love is just something that's on the back of a Hallmark card, sorry, you're mistaken. Love is difficult. Love does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices when the truth wins out. But you don't always have to be right, but you have to be looking for truth. Here's another one of the difficult ones. Love is always hopeful. Love is always hopeful. Love is always assuming the best. Oh yeah, well, you know what, so-and-so didn't show up, well, to my party, and you know what, he's just a jerk. And no, love is always hopeful. It's like, you know what, I'm sure that they meant to be here. I'm assuming the best in them versus always assuming the worst. See, love says, you know what, they probably had a really good reason why they couldn't be here, and it's going to be okay. You know, it's assuming the best in somebody. Love always hopes. And then he says this, love endures every circumstance. No matter how hard it gets, how difficult it gets, love is there. And so when you think about your family, when you think about those closest to you, understand that God put this together, that God designed this so that it could grow you personally. Like I said, if you just surrounded yourself with everybody that was like you and easy to get along with, you'd never grow. You'd never learn patience. You'd never learn all of these things. You'd never learn what it means to put other people before yourself, not to be proud or rude. Here's what I believe, is that the better that we love people, the better that we love others, the more we understand how valuable it is that God loves us. See, the only way we can love people the way that Paul is describing is because we have a God who showed us that same kind of love by sending his son Jesus to die for us, to sacrifice for us. And when we picture that, when we see that, we have a whole new perspective on what love is. See, the climb of love is to help us to see as God sees, to have a bigger perspective on people, to have a bigger perspective on our relationships. Because when I see as God sees, when I see the big picture, I can do as God says. So here's where we go from here. In your small groups, you guys are going to go, and I just want you to read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the whole thing. I want you to look at it, and I want you to read it and talk about why are some of these things so difficult. Because some of you need to have some hard conversations for the sake of love, so that you're not keeping a record of wrongs. Some of you realize that maybe I haven't been as patient as I need to be with my parents, because I'm getting ready to graduate and I'm a senior and they're holding on and they're trying to just to grab that last little bit of me that they have before I go off to college. I want you to read that and talk about it. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do to truly and really exercise love?